Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren. I used to be a librarian and now I just talk about books on the internet. And for today's video, we have my Becca's Bookoplathon TBR video. If you're unfamiliar with Becca's Bookoplathon, this is basically the game that she uses to make her monthly TBR, and twice a year she runs readathons themed around her game. There's hair. So in September we have the month-long version, and then she also usually runs a completely live 48-hour version, which is a good time. So for this version, I have a mini version of her board. It's so cute, just so cute. I'm truly hoping that while we roll, we do not land on either a chance or a community shelf. That's what it is. I hope we don't land on a chance or community shelf card space, because, you know, I haven't even cut them out yet. So that could, that could potentially be not a good time. So anyway, how this is going to work, I have my two 6-sided die, and I've decided I'm going to do 5 rolls. Now, for anyone who has ever played Bookoplathon or watched before, you will know that if you roll a double, that means you have to add a book to your rolls. Now, if I finish the 5 books, hopefully 5, through the month of September, I might choose to roll as I go the further I get into the month, but I'm just getting back into content creating, so I don't want to overwhelm myself. So I am going to go ahead and change the setup of this camera, and we are going to do my rolls, pick out some books. Alright, so let's put our Rainbow Dash on go, and we are going to do our first roll of Bookoplathon 2022. And we have a 5 and a 4, so 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What does that even say? Buildings. Alright, so for our first roll, we landed on the space buildings. And the fact that I am sitting near bookshelves that I don't typically really look at, because they're basically my special edition Brandon Sanderson shelves, because of that, I'm probably going to end up picking books that I don't normally put on TBRs. But, yeah, so a book with a building on it. How about we try this? Jade City by Fonda Lee. This is a pretty big book. 495 pages. It's the first book in the Greenbones Saga trilogy. I don't know much about it. I know that there's magic based on the element of jade, and I think it's like mafia mob inspired. I basically bought this special edition set because it came out when my subscription with Illumicrate first started. So I was really excited because this was the first special edition set that I was able to purchase. So I did, and I haven't read it yet. So I figure we'll do that in September. Alright, roll number 2 for the September Bookoplathon. We have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have published set since the year 2020. Alright, we're gonna go with this interpretation because I bought this book because Pris is doing a big book readathon, read-along type thing, type book club situation, and this one I have been seeing all over and I'm intrigued, and it would be nice to get a big book that I am intending to read for September onto my Bookoplathon TBR, because that would just be really nice. So we have Ordinary Monsters by J.M. Miro. Honestly, look at that. Look at the shiny. That's nice. So it was published in 2022. I have no idea what this is about. A stunning new work of historical fantasy. England, 1882. In Victorian London, two children with mysterious powers are hunted by a figure of darkness, a man made of smoke. 16-year-old Charlie Ovid, despite a brutal childhood in Mississippi, doesn't have a scar on him. Why are we in Mississippi? His body heals itself whether he wants to or not. Marlowe, a foundling from a railway freight car, shines with a strange bluish light. He can melt and mend flesh. This sounds very much like X-Men. When a jaded female detective is recruited to escort them to safety, all three begin a journey into the nature of difference and belonging and the shadowy edges of the monstrous. What follows is a story of wonder and betrayal from the gaslit streets of London and the wooden theaters of Meiji-era Tokyo to an eerie estate outside of Edinburgh, where other children with gifts and talents have been gathered. So this sounds like X-Men with monsters. I'm in. All right, roll number 3 for September's Bookoplathon. And we have a double. So we have 2, and we also have to add 1 roll. So we have 1, 2, and we have our favorite trope. Easy enough. Alright, so we had to add a book to this list, but I get to add one of my favorite books ever to my TBR, so I think it evens out. So our prompt was favorite trope, and I'm going to one-up that and say favorite book, because why not? So the September read for the Cliterature Book Club, hosted by Steph over at Steph Loves, is The Deal by Elle Kennedy, and this is one of my favorite books of all time. Look at the tabby tabs. Oh my god. So this tells the story of Garrett and Hannah, and they are basically enemies to lovers. They are in the same law school class. Garrett is big man on campus in the hockey team, and Hannah is kind of the studious, weird art student, and she offers to help him with the coursework in exchange for kind of some clout by being his friend. The smut in this is chef kiss fantastic. I love Hannah, I love Garrett. The scene in the locker room is just forever god tier hilarious. So we're gonna add this to the TBR. All right, roll number 4. We have a 6 and a 2, so that is 8. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have color wheel. I know that's probably upside down. Okay, so for roll number 4, we got the prompt of random color wheel thing. So I pulled up a random color generator on my phone, and we're going to click on it. We're going to see what color we get, and then we're going to pick a book based off of that color. So let's click on that. This is the dumb one that just gives you a color. It's not a wheel. It's not super exciting. And it takes forever to load. Ooh, that is a really good fall color. It's kind of washed out. But it's almost like a fall yellow. It's called Dahlia yellow. So I need a yellow book. This is kind of more orange, but it is something that I need to read, and why not put all chunky books on here? We have Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. This is one of his standalones. Currently, I think he's planning on expanding this story, and it is part of the Cosmere, and I need to get to step in on reading these Brandon Sanderson books because my Kickstarter Brandon Sanderson boxes will start delivering in like January, so it'd be nice if I can fully appreciate the stuff that I'm going to be getting in these boxes. So, Elantris, putting it on the TBR. We got 2 more rolls left. Let's go. Okay, roll number 5. Nope, no. Okay, so we got a 10 and we got a double, which means we have 2 more rolls left to do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. we have multi-perspective. Okay, multi-perspective, let's go. I think my camera is moving every time I do this. So anyway, for my multi-perspective book, we have Dreamer's Pool by Juliet Marielier. Maybe that's how you say her name. So this is a fantasy, historical fantasy romance. I don't know much about it, but I'm pretty sure it's a captor-captive thing. It looks like there are 3 perspectives. Oran is the prince, and he believed his future bride, Lady Flide, was his destined true love, but the bride who arrives is nothing like the sensitive woman who won his heart with sweetly poetic correspondence. In order to escape death, embittered healer Blackthorn promises to forego vengeance against the man who destroyed her life and to assist anyone who asks for help. Accompanied by a former prison mate, a silent hulk of a man named Grimm, she finds a home in Dalria on the fringe of a mysterious forest. I don't know, I have no idea what this is about. It just looks very fall, like there are multiple perspectives. I bought it because it was interesting. All right, roll number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Shit. Community shelf, which I do not have any cards for. So anyway, the idea for community shelf is that you are supposed to, there we go, is that you are supposed to like write down a bunch of books that you've been meaning to read, and you're supposed to put them on the cards, and then you randomly pick one, and that is your book. So since I do not have that made, because I was hoping it wouldn't come up, we're just gonna pick a book that is sitting here on the shelf of dead things, and we have Little Thieves by Margaret Owen. This was a Fairy Loot. I think it was a Fairy Loot book. Special edition. I have yet to read it. I know that it's a retelling. I know that it's kind of creepy looking. I know that the edges are nice. It looks like a good fall book. Sold. Alright, so hopefully this is our final roll for Bookoplathon. Alright, roll number 7 of Bookoplathon. This is a bonus. Let's see what happens. 5 and 1 is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have pattern and text. Alright, so for the final roll for Bookoplathon, we have the prompt pattern and text. And so what that means is the cover needs to be predominantly patterns and text. So I'm just gonna try to tear through some special editions during September. So I have This Woven Kingdom by Tierra Mafi. This is, I think, a standalone. It was an Illumicrate book. There's a pattern on it and text. There are bees, but I feel like the vast majority of this book is just patterns. So I think it works for me. Let me get my stack together because we did not get another double, thankfully. So this TBR is a little bit big, and I think I have some other like obligation book club type reads that I do want to get into September, but we'll see what happens. But this is very fantasy heavy, one contemporary. So this looks like a tough TBR, but most of them are special editions, so I need to read them anyway to see if we're going to keep them or get rid of them or whatever. So anyway, this is my TBR for September for Bookoplathon. Kind of excited about it at this point. There's a lot of fantasy, a lot of big books, a lot of things that have been catching my eye, but I just haven't picked up. So that's exciting. So anyway, if you made it to this video and you want to let me know you're here without leaving a comment, feel free to leave an emoji of, how about some dice? Down below in the comments, let me know you're here, let me know you watched. And other than that, I will just see you in my next video, whatever comes out next. 2, 3, 4. Don't know how it's 5 AM again.